felt like the people closest to you, maybe your spouse, your kids, maybe even your coworkers, are speaking a totally different language than you? Okay, I'm going to tell you about a moment in our own marriage where I felt like we were on completely opposite planets. Nothing major, just a little bump in the road, right? So I had just finished making a big decision about insurance for our work vehicles, no big deal. I called the broker, I signed the paperwork, and I checked it off my to-do list, and I felt pretty accomplished. And I walked into the office and I told Todd, my husband, it's done. And I waited for him to give me a great job, like, okay, way to go, girl. But instead, he hit me with, well, what's the deductible? Did you ask about exclusions? Are you sure this is the best policy? Maybe we better shop around. And in that moment, I felt so frustrated, infuriated almost. And my thought was, if you wanted all the details, maybe you should have just handled it yourself. Why'd you ask me in the first place? And honestly, this was just one of many moments where our different ways of thinking really created tension, especially as business owners together. Looking back, I realized the problem wasn't that we were different. It was that we didn't understand how to appreciate and use those differences to work together instead of apart. And that's what DISC has taught us. Hi, I'm Cindee Williams, and I am the founder of Lead My Life. I help empty nest women discover who they are beyond mom, build confidence, reignite their purpose, and step into this new exciting season as faith-fueled impact makers. One of the most transformational tools I've used in my own life, marriage, and now in my coaching work is the DISC personality assessment. DISC has helped me strengthen my marriage, navigate family dynamics, which are always fun, and even work with clients to create life-changing results in their relationships and careers. Today, I want to show you how understanding your DISC style and the styles of the people you love and the people you work with can transform your relationships and help you thrive in life. I'm going to share stories from my own journey, examples from my clients, and some practical takeaways that you can start using today. So what is DISC? Let's just start there. DISC is a personality framework that helps you understand how you're wired and how the people around you are wired too. And it breaks personalities into 4 main styles. D is the dominant style. That's the bold, decisive leader. Ds love challenge and are all about results and like to do things very quick. You can count on them to be decisive. Is are the influencer, the outgoing, energetic connector. Is thrive on relationships and love to bring people together. Think of the it house when you were growing up. That's my kind of mom. S's are your steady eddies in life. There's the calm, dependable type, and S's value harmony and consistency and being there for others. They're your teen mom who's there from the beginning to the bitter end of your teen game. C's are your calculators. They're the conscientious ones. They're precise, very detail-oriented. They're the planners. C's thrive on structure, analysis, and doing things the right way. You might even call them perfectionists. Okay, so was that fun? Does one of these sound like you? What about your spouse, your kids, or your coworkers? Where do you think they land? DISC helps us see these differences not as problems, but as gifts. When we understand our own unique style and the styles of the people around us that we spend the most time with, we can communicate better, connect better, resolve conflicts much faster, and build deep trust in our relationships. So when Todd and I discovered our DISC styles, it was like someone handed us a secret decoder ring for our marriage. I'm a high D, right? I'm the director. I like to make decisions quickly and move forward fast. Todd, on the other hand, is an S and a C. He's careful, methodical, and loves to research every possible option. Before DISC, this difference created friction. We didn't understand each other. I'd get frustrated with his analysis paralysis, and he'd feel like I was just steamrolling right over him. But when we learned to appreciate each other's strengths, everything changed. Here's what we did. Pause before reacting. Take a step back. Instead of making decisions without him, I started asking for his input. He, in turn, trusted my instincts when time was of the essence and needed to be quick. Reframe your conversations. I learned to ask questions like, what's one detail we think we should double down on before we make this decision? That wasn't easy for me. And I needed to appreciate the gifts. Todd's thoroughness protects us from costly mistakes, and my decisiveness keeps us moving forward. But it's not just about our marriage that's been transformed through DISC. I've worked with countless couples who've seen life-changing results by understanding their styles, especially business owners together, husband-wife business owners. Example number 2. I have this one couple that I worked with, and they're both high C's. Their attention to detail made them amazing planners, right? But they were so focused on getting everything perfect that they would forget to have fun. They worked so hard. Through DISC, they realized that they needed to intentionally schedule time for joy and spontaneity. Now they're not just working hard, they're laughing more, they're enjoying their empty nest years and deepening their connection in ways they never even thought possible. They never even imagined having this kind of relationship. Okay, another couple. So they were both I's, high influencers. They were full of energy, ideas, excitement, but they struggled to follow through. They could not land the plane. By understanding their DISC styles, we created a business plan that allowed them to thrive. They leaned into their strengths as connectors and visionaries, and then they hired people to fill the right seats, the detail people. And they were able to build a thriving business together. DISC helps couples turn differences into strengths, whether you're opposites or share very similar styles. DISC isn't just for marriages, it's a game changer for your families too. What if, with your kids, understanding their styles could help you meet their very unique needs? Maybe you have a child who's a high I, and they might need extra encouragement. Or a child who's a high C and they thrive on structure and setting clear expectations. What about between siblings? Knowing their DISC styles can help diffuse sibling tension. One sibling might be really fast-paced D, while the other is a steady, thoughtful S. Wouldn't that be fun? Even with your in-laws, DISC can create bridges where there used to be walls. I have a practical tip. Try this with your family or your friends or coworkers. The rule, see something, say something. If you notice a family member showing kindness, responsibility, stepping out and doing something brave, call it out. For example, I love how creative you are, or I admire how thoughtful you were about that decision. You put so much time into that. These little moments of affirmation can strengthen your whole family dynamic. So here are 3 steps that you can take today to start using DISC in your relationships. Number 1, take the assessment. The first step is understanding your own style. If you're not sure where to begin, reach out. I would love to guide you through it. Number 2, start conversations. Once you have your results, share it with your spouse or family. Ask reflective questions like, what do you think your DISC style is? Or how can we use our strengths to work better together? Number 3, be intentional. Whether it's scheduling time for fun, practicing the see something, say something rule, or pausing just to understand someone's perspective. Small changes make a big impact. You know what? At the end of the day, we're all wired differently for a reason. Your personality, your strengths, and even your quirks are part of what make you. And when we just take the time to understand and appreciate these differences, our relationships take off and flourish. If you're ready to dive deeper, I want to connect with you. Let's talk. Let's do a clarity call. Schedule a DISC coaching session with me, a discovery call, and together we're going to uncover how your personality can strengthen your relationships and help you flourish in this season of life. And don't forget, next week, we're going to explore how DISC applies to teams and the workplace in your small business. It's time to discover your place and make an impact. Until then, remember this, we're better together when we understand and appreciate each other's unique design. Make sure you like this video. Give me a comment. What DISC style do you think you are? And then subscribe so you can see the rest of this Discover You series. I'm Cindee Williams, and I'm so thankful that you checked in today, and I will see you next week, my friends.